In my clinic, I see 3 big mistakes made by seniors that affect their mobility. In today's video, I'm going to show you what those mistakes are and how to prevent or fix them in your own life. So now I'm going to reveal the 3 mistakes that many seniors make that affect their mobility and suggest some exercises to help you fix them. But before I do, I just need to make you aware the exercises I'm going to recommend are not suitable for everyone. So do get checked out before you put them into action. And if they cause you any pain, just avoid them. Anyway, let's talk about the first mistake that I see a lot of seniors make. And that mistake is walking flat-footed. Now, walking flat-footed is really common in older people. We see it a lot, and it can happen for a number of different reasons. One reason is that feet and ankles can get stiff as we get older, which makes it difficult to get that heel strike and toe off, which I'll show you in a moment. Another issue is pain, and it might feel less painful for people to walk flat-footed. And the third issue really is just habit. If you've developed this kind of bad habit, very easy to creep in, by the way, that can lead to this problem happening. And the reason it's such a bad issue is because walking flat-footed basically takes away all of your power when you're walking. When we walk, we need something called a toe off, which is that we're pushing through our toes to propel us forward. That literally provides about 70 or 80% of your forward propulsion. And if you lose that, your walking becomes slow and less efficient. Research shows it takes roughly double the amount of energy to walk if you don't have that toe off phase as it does for people who have a normal gait. So if you've noticed that this is a problem for you and it's crept in over time, what can you do to fix it? Well, the answer is we're going to do 2 things. We're going to focus on improving your gait pattern by first working on your heel strike and then working on your toe off, okay? So we're going to break it down. The first thing we're going to work on is your heel strike. And this is basically just concentrating on having the first thing that hits the ground be your heel, okay? So when we walk normally, we want our heel to hit the ground first, then we roll onto our toes. That's basically how a normal walking pattern works. And if we miss that heel strike, everything else breaks down. So what I would ask you to do, next time you're out walking, pick just one side of your body, doesn't matter if it's right or left, and every time, let's say that left side goes forward, I want you to say the word heel every time you take a step. So it would be like this, heel, okay? I'll show you on this way back. So watch my left side, heel, heel, like that. So we're focusing on making sure that left side gets the heel down first, and in most people, the other side will just follow along in tandem. So you only need to focus on one, heel, heel, like that, and just keep saying it in your head over and over again as you walk. I know this sounds super stupid, but if you do this for a couple of weeks, it becomes automatic and you'll never have to do it again. So it's well worth the effort. So once you've done that for a few weeks, it's become automatic. You're getting your heel down first. For many people, the next phase will have just sorted itself out. And that next phase is the toe off, where we push through the toes. So now what we're going to do for the next couple of weeks, instead of thinking about the heel, we're going to think about the toes. And now this time when you walk, again, just choose your left side. You're going to go like this, toes, toes. So every time you take a step and you push off, you're going to exaggerate that push off through the toes. And because you're saying it in your head every time, you're not going to forget to push off. When people get it wrong, they end up just lifting their foot, so they lose all their power. But if we can focus on that pushing, that won't happen anymore. You'll regain your power, you'll walk faster, and you'll have less chance of falling. All of these things are scientifically proven. So that's the first thing. I hope that's been useful. If you've enjoyed that tip, I've got tons more like it in my brand new book, Thriving Beyond 50, which you can find in the description box below this video. The second big mobility mistake that some seniors make is using the chair arms to get up and down from a chair. Now, we all do this sometimes, and it's totally fine to do it every now and again, especially when you're feeling really tired. But it becomes a problem when it becomes a habit. And before long, you'll find that you actually can't do that movement without your arms where you once could. So I've seen many people who were shocked when I asked them to get up and out of a chair without using their hands, and they couldn't do it in the practice. And we had to do a lot of work to get them back to being able to do it. Now, the solution to this is to practice something called the slow sit to stand or the slow stand to sit. I'm going to show you exactly how that works. It's really simple to do. And if you practice just 5 or 10 of these a day, over time, you won't need those chair arms anymore, I promise. So this is how it looks. Come right to the edge of your chair and you're going to take your hands out the way. You're going to force yourself not to use your hands. Bring your feet back just underneath your knees like this. Keep your back nice and straight. And then take your nose over your toes and come forward and up to a standing position. And then put the movement into reverse, but do it super slow. So stick your bottom out, bend your knees, keep your back straight, and come all the way down nice and slow until you reach the chair. Simple as that. You're going to do that 5 times in a row. So forward and up to stand, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 seconds is great if you want to go that slow on the way down. Again, forward and up, nose over toes, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to a seated position. Again, a few times a day. It's super simple, but it makes a massive difference over time. And it could be the thing that saves your mobility. Now, the third mobility mistake that many seniors make is avoiding the stairs. Now, this sounds like such a small thing, and it just creeps in over time. You know, you lose confidence, you lose strength, and suddenly you think, oh, I won't take the stairs anymore. I'll take the escalator or I'll get in the elevator instead. However, this can cause a big problem. Now, my watch tells me that every day I do an average of 10 flights of stairs per day. And let's say each of those flights of stairs has 10 steps in it, for argument's sake. Now, if I stop doing the stairs, I would lose out on 10 times 10 repetitions, so 100 reps of a stepping up and down movement. That's a huge loss of workout time. I'd lose 100 reps of leg strengthening, which means over time my mobility and strength would decline precipitously. And that's what happens to many older people. So don't avoid the stairs, but if you feel that's kind of started to creep in, here is a great exercise to rectify some of that strength loss. It's called the high step up. You just need your bottom step for it, and ideally something to hold on to like the banisters, okay? I'm going to show you not holding on, but definitely hold on when you try this at home. You're going to put one foot on the bottom step like this, or the second step if you're very confident. Hold on with your hands. You're going to push up and lift that knee, the other knee up in the sky, and then come back down, all in the same movement. So this is how it looks in real time. Going to come up and down, up and down, up and down. One more, up and down. I'll show you on the other side so you might get a better view. This foot on the step, and now up and down, up and down. Notice how on the way down, I'm trying to do it as controlled as possible. So I'm not just letting gravity take me down. I'm using the strength in my leg to slowly lower me back down. And I'd recommend every senior tries to do somewhere in the region of 10 to 30 reps per day on each leg of that to undo a lot of the mobility loss that you might have had creep in since you stopped doing the stairs. Anyway, that's all I've got for you today. I hope you found that really useful. If you have, do drop a comment below and just let us know if we're hitting the mark. And I'll see you again on the next video.